friends and students. Welcome back again to this video series. In today's class, we will discuss about radio frequency. This is a very important part of electronics and communication, especially communication. But before that, once again, I will remind you that about this series. Why I am making this series, I will just remind you about that. So hands-on skills and practical training for students and hobbyists joining manufacturing and service industry of electronics, electrical, and instrumentation. This video series is also helpful for the students doing internship in the colleges or who are not able to do some practical in their labs, college labs, or anywhere in the industry. Because when you go to the industry, it is very important that you should have a knowledge, at least the very basic knowledge. So this video series is all about that. What is required for the industry that you will get knowledge of that. Okay. So I've made a complete series. Up till now, I've made many series, and further also, I will make many of the series, especially focusing on the industry. That is the industry knowledge for the students. Right. This will also helpful for the students who are doing industrial training, who are there in ITI, the students who are doing polytechnic, right? That is 3 years diploma, okay? And also electrical and electronic degree students also, right? This video series will also help hobbyists and students doing DIY projects of any level, micro, mini, or major projects, because we are covering topics from basic electrical and electronics. So you will come to know about everything. That is the idea. I kindly request you all to subscribe and like and share my videos and channel with your friends so that they also learn or get some hands-on knowledge, practical knowledge. After every video topic, I am and I will also share a MCQ, a short video MCQs. You must have seen my MCQs also, so that the short videos, so that will help you to improve your knowledge level. Will be on the top level. Your knowledge, I want that you should be on the top level of the knowledge and skills. So once again, thank you and happy learning. All right, friends and students. So we have come to this part, that is, we call it as a radio communication. We are going to study about radio communication, that is RF. Okay. Because we have to do one practical on the radio communication. Before that, I will just explain in very few minutes what is radio communication. It is an electromagnetic signal through the atmosphere or a free space. That means whenever there is a radio, wireless radio, when we talk about wireless transmission, receiving. So please remember, we are talking about electromagnetic signal or electromagnetic waves, right? That has been given in this first slide. That is radio frequency, right? Which carries what this electromagnetic frequency or waves. What does it carry? It carries the information. Can be any type of information, sounds, or it can be a video information or any digital form of information. Okay. So what is radio frequency? You have come to know. Okay. Now we'll go to the second slide. In the second slide, classification of radio. How do we classify it according to its frequency range? We classify radio frequency according to its frequency range, right? So very low frequency, VLF, is from 10 to 30 kilohertz, right? Please remember, kilohertz are very low frequency because it is in kilo, right? Now we all deal with megahertz, gigahertz, or those frequency only. But for study or this thing in the beginning, it is frequency was very low frequency. Then came the low frequency, 30 to 300, medium frequency, right? Then high frequency, very high frequency. What is it? What denote? It denotes the change in the frequency range. Super high frequency is from 3000 to 30,000 megahertz. Okay, super high frequency. Okay. What do you know? What on what frequency our mobile phone work? Our mobile phone works with 900 megahertz. That means we are in ultra high frequency range. Okay. Now we'll go to the next slide. Mechanism. There is a two parts. Okay. One is we call it as a transmission. That is in transmission, how it takes place. The signal, the speed signal given to the transducer. What is transducer? Your microphone is a transducer. That means it converts a voice signal to electrical signal, right? We call it the transducers. Then electromagnetic signal, electronic processor will be there, transmitters will be there, it will be mixed together and it will be sent, right? And it is received by electromagnetic waves, is received by a receiver part. Then electromagnetic signal, transducer here is speaker, right? So there we have in the transmission side, we have microphone. Here we have transducer as a speaker. So speaker is also a transducer because it will convert electrical signal to sound signal. Okay, right. So you have to understand this small mechanism, modulation, very important part of communication. That is modulation. Different type of modulation are there, but here you can see amplitude modulation. What is amplitude? RF modulation. In modulation, what happens? It depends. That the frequency will be how it has been modulated. This inside it is changing or outside. That means what is the range of frequency? That is called as modulation. Modulation is nothing but mixing, right? Mixing of what? Suppose you want to transmit a sound. So you will mix that sound with the oscillator generator, specially generated with the oscillator, that frequency, which will carry, that is, we call it as a carrier. Okay. Inside the carrier frequency, you have your main frequency, your audio or any other frequency. That purpose mixing is called as modulation. Okay. Now we'll go to next. There's one more type, frequency modulation, right? FM, we call it as the radios and all. After this, in this technology, this clarity of sound, that is a disturbance, has drastically reduced. So this modulation is very important modulation. We call it the frequency modulation. Right? So radio transmission, you can see we have already discussed in transmitter, power supply, oscillator, modulator, amplifier, and then antenna. Amplifier here is a power amplifier. Okay. Whatever the information is video or audio, you give it to the modulator because the mixing takes place there on. Next is radio receiver, just exactly reverse of this. RF signal, first antenna, then it will come to amplifier, then to tuner, then detector. Detector is a diode, that is by separating. That means we don't want the RF frequency, we want only the original frequency, original sound or video, whatever the information you want, that you can take it out from here. That is that purpose, or that section is called a detection sector. That section, after that, the audio amplifier will be there or video amplifier will be there, and finally it will come to the speaker. Where do we use it? Wireless technology, radio waves. Where do we use it? Wireless technology, mobile phone communication, television, radars, space communication, Wi-Fi, and many other. Okay. So even Bluetooth is your wireless frequency. It is, the frequency is different. The more, that is 2.4 gigahertz or 2400 megahertz is the frequency. Okay. It's a Bluetooth. We'll study, or we'll rather see, I will explain you about this the coming videos when we'll do some practical related to this. Okay. Mobile phone, I just now told you, right? It's a cellular frequency. We call it as a, because it has a cell type of, so we'll have a separate class on mobile communication and we will discuss about that also. So this is about communication where we use it. Okay. So mobile radars, we use it for military purpose, for navigation purpose, for ships and for planes. That is long distance information. If you want to have it or you can locate it, we call it as a radar. Now radio waves in space, that is, you want to send a signal to the satellite or to some very, very distant place, then you use a particular frequency to send the signal or to receive it from the space, right? You can see a bigger dish antenna on that. Then you have Wi-Fi, what is very, very common nowadays. That is also radio frequency. That is also wireless nowadays. All your devices connected with Wi-Fi.